What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to take a look at a cryptocurrency called Dent. So I've been researching into this for a bit, and what they're trying to do is actually quite amazing, and I figured I'd make this video and share with you what they're doing. And just remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure to do research before making any investments. But look at Dent right now. This is the current price, pretty much a little under a cent, give or take, when you're watching this, but I mean, look at the past. Like, for the past few days, it has just gone crazy. And right now, it's kind of hard to see on CoinMarketCap, but you can just see this little spike in price. And I think I'll show you is the actual charts, which I'll go to in a second. But let's just take a look really quick. The market cap is basically 900 plus mil. If it's fully diluted, it's basically 1 bill. And pretty much the max supply is basically 100 billion. So right now, let's just look at the chart really quick. Let's look at what happened. So basically, the past few days, Dent has just gone crazy. So let's just see here. Let's start off here at the low points, and that's like 0.001 plus. And we'll just measure it right here. So just beginning, first week of March, give or take, let's just put it right there. All the way up towards the highs. I mean, we can see this gain. It is absolutely insane. So let me shrink this really quick, the price, to make it easier to see the percentage gain. And it has just gone crazy. So we can see here 800 plus percent. And right now we have this quite a big sell-off right here. It's hovering within, pretty much, it's like bouncing up and down between the 50 EMA line right here. We're consolidating sideways, it looks like. RSI is sort of in the middle right now, so we're in between like the oversold, overbought type territory. So there's not really much data we have to work with right now based off the 1 hour chart. So in terms of my price predictions and just TA, I'd say we'll have to give it some time because there's really nothing here to support this. If this were to continue to go like this, we could see this dip back to our support levels, maybe forming around this area or even way down back here. But again, there's really not much we're working with besides that. It's pretty much downtrending currently, right? So I'm not going to focus too much on the price for this video, but I just want to show you like Dent in general because what they're trying to do, I mean, when I looked at this is quite amazing. And I've traveled a lot, so I kind of understand the problems they're trying to solve, and also I experience like what it's like. And just real quick, let me just give you like the super short, simple definition of what they're trying to do. But basically, mobile data access globally with an app, with an eSIM, so you don't have to have actual physical SIM card in your phone. And basically, you get access to data, and then you just simply sign up, pay with with your actual phone on the app, and then pretty much now you can pay, top up or essentially like add data to your phone, and then you're pretty much good to go. So basically, mobile data global, using it pretty much anywhere, at least that's what they have currently. So like, for instance, you can check out more of the details, but they have right now, you can see here the actual countries, 142 supported countries, and it had actual like little plus sign thing. But let me just show you. Let's click here. Let's just go one by one. So here's eSIM. So right now, depending on what phone you got, most people probably have like the physical SIM card, right? And if you ever traveled worldwide, right, it's definitely a pain because if you're using, for instance, like an unlocked phone, which you need to if you're going, I'm from the US, so if you go outside the US, you have to, one, save your SIM card from America, hide it somewhere, hoping it doesn't, disappear, that little tiny little SIM card, and you don't lose it, or else it's going to be a pain when you come back, you have to get another one. So, and two, when you travel overseas, you have to get a new SIM card, you got to put that into your current phone, and then, like, it's annoying because you have to make sure you have your SIM card. But here, basically, this solves the issue. You have an eSIM. Basically, it's a virtual SIM card, right? Now, basically, they say here, no more long contracts, no more expensive roaming fees, 80 countries included. You basically install the digital Dent SIM card, aka the eSIM, and it's free, and then you just get started. So, like here, this is an app, and they have videos on the YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. But it's pretty dope, the little instructions. But pretty much you start now. You little top, sign up, pay for whatever plan you can afford or which one you need, and then that's it. You're set to go, right? At least that's how they showcase it, and that's how simple it is. If you guys have actually used Dent, definitely comment down below what you think about it. And like in terms of like connection, is it like legit? Is it laggy? Like, is it hard to get access to the internet in certain areas? Definitely let me know, because I've been over Asia, I've been Europe, everywhere, so I can tell like certain areas, even though you have like the top carrier for whatever country you're in, some places you go to like far in the country, your phone's just gone, like you have no connection, right? So definitely let me know how it is in terms of the connection if you actually had it. But the biggest thing is, one, there's no contract required, and then you basically pay as you go. Which I wish like more I'd say companies in America had that. In America, it's not, I'd say, too bad because you kind of just, if you know you're going to be here for a long time, you just, pay your subscription and then you're set to go. When you're traveling overseas, depending on where you're at, you might have to, pay a premium for like a short-term plan, or you just simply pay like those top-up cards, put X amount of dollars on it, and then, you add it on each month or whatever time you need more data or like calling and service. But for that, it seems like you just download the app. They got 80 countries included. Seems like 365 days, fast connection. They have 4G and LTE, which is really interesting. And then basically they show like, the countries where they got coverage right now. So it seems like we got US, we got, South America, we got Australia, some parts of Asia. And it looks like Europe is quite well covered right here. Africa and, up here doesn't seem like it's too much. And then this area down here, it looks like Mexico. I'm not sure if it's, it looks like it's not really covered yet. If I'm assuming this like light grayish color. So it seems like it's in a lot of major places, not everywhere yet, but I would hopefully that see this, increase over time. And then pretty much you can see here like you just instructional videos. But the stuff that's really cool too is they have this thing called Dent Teams. And this is something that based off like at least American phone companies, right? It's usually if you have like a family plan or whatnot, yeah, you can like split the total amount of data and all that. And it varies depending on which plans you got, right? But here what's pretty cool is you can have like a team and you can pretty much share your data. So for instance, let's say like you're working on a project or whatever, and you have a bunch of data that your team members might, they might need it, them traveling or whatnot. You can actually share your data with them. So let's say you have like 30 gigabytes of data. You can split it out to your team. Let's say give them two gigabytes of data each so they can do whatever they need to, get stuff done. Obviously that can be working for like your family and friends as well. And it's just really cool because it's something that like, if you're on, for instance, if you're an American, you have like Verizon and then someone else has AT&T. It's not like, obviously you can do, like little hotspot and all that stuff. But like aside from that, you can't just like be like, hey, here's my data. You know what I mean? But I mean, America, it's a little different. We have a bunch of places with Wi-Fi, so it's not the biggest of a deal. But I think this is, I'd say the benefit of this company is big, huge overseas, especially in areas where like connection, setting up stuff with, phone carriers and all that is very difficult to access. This could be a big deal, especially that for people traveling too in like unknown cities, and they might not be in an area where they could sign up or whatnot. So that could be something as well. So in terms of like the overall idea, what they're trying to do, it's definitely awesome, and it's really cool what they're trying to solve. Now there's also a huge, I'd say a big amount of cons that you have to consider too, right? And also you can see we have Dent Voice, and it's worldwide voice calling, which is Dent app. Now this is dope too to see that they have calling embedded with it, but I mean, if you use most apps, like for instance Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, depending on which app you're using, as long as you're like under Wi-Fi, you could pretty much call for free, right? So I mean, it's a cool perk to have. I guess it fits for people who might not have access to certain areas where that you can't use that. But I think in general there's a lot of apps today that people built that you can just call your friends and text them unlimited as long as you're under a Wi-Fi connection. So again, there's definitely some pros to this, but I say I'll look at some of the cons too, because right now, to my knowledge, I don't know many companies doing what they're trying to do in terms of like the global mobile data problem. But like basing off of this current evaluation, right? I'm looking at this market cap. Let's just pretend we round this up to $1 billion. So just add a 1 here, change these to zeros. The price right now is like 1 cent. So people who are new to the game, they might think that this is gonna, go to $1 and they made like 100x or whatever multiplier you want to put. This goes to $10, like you're balling, right? But you got to understand, the market cap is basically 100 bill almost, right? So in order for that to reach whatever price you want to add after this, you would times that by the market cap. So for instance, just keep this in mind. This 1 bill, pretend this is 1 bill, right? If you look at the top cryptocurrencies to date, and Bitcoin's not doing too well today, it's 52K. But let's just go like maybe number 10. This market cap is only 11 bill. 11. So you can see 11, 11, 13, 20 plus. So for Dent to just 11x, it would go to what, 11 cents, give or take. They would be number 10. Right now it's currently ranked number 81 when I'm filming this. And then if it were to 20x, it would be like ranked 7 at today's date. So unless you think Dent can actually be like a top cryptocurrency and get within this like top 10 ranking, then I'd say the multiplier of it actually going crazy would be fairly low. So if it can make it to the top 10, surpass that 10 bill plus market cap, that'd be definitely amazing. That would be still only like a 10x multiple. So keep that in mind. Now that's just giving you guys like a general view. Obviously, this could go skyrocket, and the whole world adopts this and all that too. So it could be infinite in terms of the gains, but that's something that's a more long term play. I don't want to speak such on a short term basis. But the other thing too is you got to factor in like there's a lot of other carriers, aka phone companies like Verizon, AT&T, that are massive. They basically dominate, at least for the US. They basically dominate the US. So for instance, like here's Verizon's revenue. They did 131 bill. AT&T did 171 bill. I don't know what numbers Dent's doing. Maybe if someone could comment below, let me know. But just note that like if these companies were to copy what Dent's doing, or make whether they make their own cryptocurrency and their own setup where this is basically copies what they're doing, then I don't see how Dent would be able to compete. Now that's just something. I don't know if there's like special patents that they got working on, whatever. But just in general, what the business model is definitely awesome to see. But I'd say it's very competitive because I wouldn't be surprised if another company is already working on the similar concepts, and then they just have bigger funding, they have a better team. Next thing you know it, they dominate versus Dent. So that's something to keep in mind in terms of risk factors. Hopefully they do really well, and this solves a lot of problems. But also keep in mind the factor of competitive advantage is there's so many other companies out here that are doing something similar, and whoever usually ends up getting the most funding or has the best team and survives the longest typically will make it out on top. Don't forget at least that like these big companies also have like international plans as well. So always keep that in mind. Just because it's global plans, at the end of the day, like this stuff is cool and all, but like if you live in, for instance, like United States for all your whole life, you probably won't ever really use Dent, I would say, because the pricing it's much more, I'd say, a premium versus getting like a yearly plan subscription with like a AT&T or Verizon, etc. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe if you're global, international living, or travel a lot, this could be a solution. But just note that these other major companies also have, like their own plans international. So you don't even need to sign up for an app and top it up when you could just, add this to your current plan, for instance, like AT&T, right? So again, there is use cases for this, and it's probably better in certain areas where it's hard to access internets. In the US, at least, I wouldn't see it making that big of a move, especially for people that are tied to the big major companies already. But definitely do let me know your thoughts below. Maybe I'm looking at this completely wrong, and maybe there's a completely different take they have in terms of people that live locally who have easy access to internet and calling and all that. Definitely comment down below your thoughts and what you think about that. But aside from that, if you made it this far in the video and you want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then all you need to do is click the first link in the description below, sign up for an account, and as long as you deposit $100 minimum or more, you'll be able to receive 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. And aside from that, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to see more updates on the market. Give the video a thumbs up, comment down on your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.